Hello, it is Mr. Kuchma, your teacher for Online Life Sciences 11. I'm excited to have you, and this is going to be the course intro video that explains how each and every step of the course works. If you're new to online, I welcome you, and if you're a veteran to online, then I still want you to watch the video. Because this video is going to explain everything, and there's actually going to be a short little quiz in the course about the course intro. So you're going to want to pay attention a little bit. But we're going to start off with Brightspace. So if you are new, Brightspace is where online courses are. So it's this learning platform, and you've logged in with your username and your password. And I want to help you navigate a couple things in Brightspace just because it's very, very helpful. When you log in, you are automatically put into the course home. But if you want to very easily access the course content, pretty much every time you log in, you should click on the content button. The content button will then lay out everything in the course in kind of a linear fashion, which is kind of nice. You can see everything here in the course. Now, when you log in for your first time, you're only going to see the course introduction and the taxonomy chapter. Everything else is actually going to be hidden. In the course introduction, you have to complete the course intro quiz, and then it unlocks the entire course. But I'm the teacher, so I can see everything. But the best way to view the course is definitely to do content. The other thing that you're going to want to do, and because I'm the teacher, I don't have grades, but there's a grades function, and you're able to click on that, and you'll be able to find out how you're doing in different elements of the course. So here's the activities. There's assignments, there's quizzes and tests, and then the final exam. So it'll give you your overall grade, which is nice. One thing that you should also do as soon as you log in is you should set up a pacing and progress tool. I don't think it's going to let me do it because, again, I'm the teacher. But when you go here, you should be able to I think hit start, and the pacing and progress tool will automatically make today, whatever day that you click on the pacing and progress tool, be your start date. And then Brightspace just automatically puts the end date as 6 months in the future. Okay? You don't have to use that 6 months in the future. You should take that end date and put it to whenever you want to finish the course. So if you're trying to finish this course really quickly in a month, that's amazing. You can put your end date in a month. Most students are going to be trying to finish the course, maybe before Christmas, or at the end of first semester, or by June. Maybe you have to have a final grade. You could be doing the course over the summer. However you're doing the course, the pacing and progress tool is awesome. So I'm going to go back to content, and I am going to click on the start here, the course introduction. So every single person, actually I'll click course home so you can kind of see it good. And also, by the way, you should see me as your teacher over here on the right side. And you'll actually see that I've got two TAs. They help with marking the assignments. They're awesome, Olivia and Sandy. Sandy does more for this course, and Olivia does more for Anatomy and Physiology 12. But if at any point you need help in your course, you can click on my name, and you can send me an email right there. And if you ever need help in the course, you can also book a Zoom meeting with me. If you click on my link, it'll take you to my booking page. You can book a meeting, and it'll show you all the dates that I'm available, and you can choose a date that or a time that works for you. Okay, there's a bunch of them. I'm not going to book a meeting with myself, but we're going to get started. And this is kind of the student view. When you log in, you're only going to see this course introduction in taxonomy. The rest of the course will unlock once you complete the course introduction. So I'm going to click on the course introduction here, and there's a thing that says start here. Lots of these things you can actually see when you log in. I don't think that there'll be this many, but you start here and you can read a bunch about the course, and you're going to need to. Some of the stuff I've already talked about. There's the course intro video, which I'm recording right now. This is the old one, and I'm recording a new one for this new school year. And then there is a bunch of content about completing the course, so you can read about that. I'm going to talk about it here in a second. So how chapters work. I've got a list of policies and procedures, which I'll go over really quickly. We're an online school, so I rely heavily on you guys being honest in your courses and using academic integrity. So when you are completing course content, you are not allowed to cheat or use outside resources when you're doing assignments, when you're doing tests, quizzes, or any of the activities in the course. And I operate with a 3-strike system. So if I find that you cheated the first time, I'll give you a 0 on that question. That's strike 1. If you do it a second time, it'll be strike 2, and you'll get a 0 on that entire submission, which is a lot more. It hurts your grade quite a bit. And for the third use, you fail the course and you get kicked out. So don't use the 3-strike system. Plagiarism is the same. If you copy and paste a ton of work and you don't cite it, yeah, that's also not good. And you can take a look at how your grades are in the course as well. So yeah, there's a bunch of different stuff here. And then once you start, once you've watched this video, the last thing that you're going to do is you're going to go over the course intro quiz, and you're going to complete it. And I think there's 7 questions. And then the 8th one is a quick bio about yourself. So we're going to go back, and I'm actually going to go through how a chapter works. And we're going to start with chapter 1 on taxonomy. And when you're completing course content, pretty much every chapter will look exactly like this. And you are going to have lessons, which are listed here. Lesson 1, lesson 2, all the way down to lesson 11. You're going to have an assignment. You can see that there's a taxonomy assignment, and there's a taxonomy test. Now, let's go back up to the top. When you jump in, I've got a quick video on an intro, but every single chapter requires you to take notes. And students have a lot of different options for how you want to take notes. You can do these, the old-fashioned way on pen and paper, or you can do them online, type them out. And I have given you guys a template if you want to use. So if you want to print something out, you can print off the PDF. If you want to download something, you can use the Google Doc, and you can download this into Google Docs, or you can download this into Microsoft Word. Either one is totally fine. If you want to do your own notes, you don't even have to use my template. The only thing that you have to do is you have to make sure that you include all of the vocab that I have listed here. The vocab is important. So when you are taking notes and when you jump into lesson 1 on taxonomy introduction and lesson 2 on classification, when you actually jump into this video and start watching it, I want to see 3 things while you are doing notes. Okay, I'm going to go back to these. So I want to see that you have listed and defined every single vocab word, and that you have a definition for them, and you can put the vocab either at the very beginning of your notes, or you can put them at the very end of your notes. Doesn't matter to me, but you do need to list what homologous means for biology, what order and archaea and genus. Each one of these needs a definition, and you're going to find all the definitions in the videos. Okay? So I want the vocab separate, either at the start or the end of your notes, and the vocab is worth 3 marks. While you're watching the videos, we're going to go back to the classification. And the Amoeba Sisters are amazing. They've got super, super great videos. You are also going to be taking notes. So if we open up a video, I'm just going to have it muted. But let's say I'm going to turn on this. And let's say they're talking about the importance of DNA and that we use DNA to categorize, we classify organisms based on their DNA. Okay, awesome. What I want you to do is I want you to write that down in your notes. Oh, we classify organisms based on their DNA. So that's something that you could add to your notes. I really like visual content as well. So let's say you are watching the video and you see this really great visual, this triangle where it talks about the domain, the kingdom, the phylum, the class, the order, the family, the genus, and the species. So notes need to include 3 things. I talked about vocab, and you're going to write down important things that the video says. That's number 2. I also want you to include visual content. So I want you to take screenshots or do simple drawings of things in the videos, because visuals will be on tests and quizzes and the final exam, and it's important, especially in biology. So as you're going through and as you are watching the videos, depends on how you're doing it. If you are doing your notes online, okay, I'm online right now, you can take, if you're on a PC, you can take something called the snipping tool. And if you're on a Mac, you can download an app called Sketch. And what you can do is you can take a screenshot just of the visual content here, like I did, and you can embed that right into your notes if you're doing them online. Some of you guys might be way better at doing things by hand. I am not like that at all, but you could draw out this instead and do it that way. But yeah, when you are doing your notes and you're going to do all 11 lessons, at the very end, you are going to submit them into the taxonomy notes. And I have a little blurb here. And I tell you, I want to see that you've taken notes. I want to see that your vocab is completed and that you've got visual content. So vocab is 3 marks, visual content is 3 marks, and just taking notes is worth 4 marks. So every single time you submit your notes, you get a mark out of 10. That's how I look at that. All right. Okay, so that is lessons, and that's a bunch of important stuff. After you have completed the lessons, there is something called an assignment. So again, I give you both options. You can download the taxonomy assignment as a Word document, and you can type your answer in, or you can print off your assignment and work in pencil or pen. Either way does not matter to me. However, the assignment is different than maybe assignments you've seen before. My TAs and I, when we mark your assignments, we are looking to see what achievement goal you have for the course. So what that means is we are going to mark you differently if you're trying to get an A+ in the course, or if you're trying to get, a B or just like pass. If you're in the B, C, or D range, that's no problem. If you're just doing this course and you need a science course to graduate, I want to help you get there. But if you're taking this course and you want to go into nursing or pre-med or something like that, you're probably trying to get like a 95% in this course. So your achievement goal is probably going to be an A+. So what is going to happen is you are going to complete this assignment. You'll go through, you'll answer all these questions, and I have divided each assignment into 2 parts. At part 1, it says you can use your notes to help you answer these questions. And then in part 2, it says don't use your notes to help you answer these questions. Test your memory and your knowledge of the processes. So if I try to ask some harder questions in part 1, and you might want to go back to your notes and see if you can find the answer to them. Like, what's the difference between radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry? You might have to go back to your notes to learn about that. But then when you get to the part 2, try not to use any of your notes and see if you can actually know these answers. And it says to compare and contrast analogous traits and homologous traits, and to give examples. So hopefully, as you go throughout this, you'll actually see that there's quite a bit of content. And what will happen is, if you're doing this assignment and at the end there's 10 questions, okay? And if there's 10 questions and you get 2 of them wrong and you're trying to get a B, that's totally fine. We're going to give you the right answer and we'll mark it and you'll be good to go. So we'll mark it. This is what me and my 2 TAs use. We say you're either good to go or we say that you need corrections. Now, if you're trying to get an A+ in the course and you make 2 mistakes, we might actually not let you move forward. We'll actually say, nope, you need to do corrections. Can you please correct, 3 and 5? And we'll give you the questions that you got wrong, and we just need you to correct those 2 questions. But the reason why is because we want to make sure that when you go to the test, you are as knowledgeable as possible to get the A+. So we use this achievement goal very strategically. Please mark this on every single assignment that you do. And what is important about the assignment is that the assignment is actually what unlocks the test. Okay, so right now on the left hand side, if you look here, you can see that there is a taxonomy chapter test. Because I'm the teacher, I can see it. When you log in, and if you look right now, and if you go and try to find the taxonomy chapter test, it will not be there. I'm going to go back for a second, and I'm going to view as myself, and I'm going to show you how I have it set up. If I go into taxonomy, and I go down to the chapter test, I have this little only visible if conditions are met. And what has to happen is you have to get your assignment marked before you're allowed to do the test. So all the tests in the courses are going to be invisible until you've done your assignment. And so the test is the last part of each chapter, and it's a little bit different. It's a timed event. So you have as much time as you want to do the notes and as much time as you want to do the assignment. But the test is usually 1 hour, 90 minutes, or 2 hours, depending on which chapter it is. Some chapters are a lot longer, and they're 2 hours, which is chapter 2 and chapter 5. And then I think chapter 1 might be 2 hours, or it's 90 minutes. And then there's shorter quizzes in chapter 3, and they're only 1 hour long. So you've got a specific time limit to doing tests. But yeah, that is the lessons, that is the assignments, and that is the tests, and that is how each chapter is laid out. However, this is biology, and I love biology. I'm a huge nerd about biology, and biology is really fun. And not only do you do chapters, but you also do activities in the course. So there is a field trip, there is a research assignment, learning about AP citations. There is also 2 labs, so it's super fun. So every single activity in the course is different. It'll have a video explaining what you have to do. The very first activity is a field trip. It's my favorite thing to mark because I get to see all sorts of cool places that you guys go to in BC. And in the very, very first year that I taught this course, I had a student, I don't know if you can see this very well, go to a place up near Fort St. John, and it's called Fossil Falls, and he sent me a piece of fossil from his field trip for Life Sciences 11. So, go and explore. It's a really fun thing. And there's like a rubric for how you're going to get graded when you complete activities. So at the very bottom, you can see that I'm looking for some scientific content. I'm looking for organization and flow because I've got to watch these and your overall workmanship. So everything's got a kind of like a grade for how you'll do it. But that is basically it for the course. I'm super excited that you're taking it. Biology is by far my favorite course. And my biology teacher really inspired me to become a biology teacher all these years later. So I hope that you take the course and really enjoy it. The only last thing that I want to mention as you were jumping in is how AI can be used in the course. All right. So biology is a course where you could ask AI to do the entire course for you. And it could probably do like 90% of the course. I don't think it could go on a field trip. Actually, I don't think it could do the labs. But AI can answer a lot of things and in way more complicated language. When you are doing the course, the only time that you are allowed to use AI is when you are doing the notes and when you are completing lessons. And what I will say, AI is pretty cool, and there's lots of cool things that you can do. If you were to take a look at your notes, you could take all of the vocab if you wanted to, and you could copy this into some sort of AI. You could use ChatGPT or Gemini, and you could say, I'm a student taking Life Science 11 online. Can you please help me define the following vocab words for my course? And you can list all your things. This is a really great use of AI, okay? You are not allowed to use any form of AI on assignments or on tests or on any of the activities, but it can help. What I would just make sure is it is not perfect, and sometimes it will do weird things. But ChatGPT is a really, really cool like tool. At the very end, it says, would you like me to also make a study chart flashcard style summary of these terms too? So if you wanted to make flashcards, ChatGPT can do that for you. But you can see that in 3 seconds, it has all the vocab words, and you could go back and you could take the second one and then the third one, and you could take all the vocab words, and it could help you list and define all of them. As you're going through the course, I would just make sure that ChatGPT got it right. So Kingdom, one of the largest groups used to classify living things, Animalia, Plantae, Fungi, it's actually missing one. So if you take a look at kingdoms, there's 4. Animalia is 1, Plantae is 2, Fungi is 3, but ChatGPT forgot about Protista. And Protista is important. So as you're going throughout the course, you can use this, but only for the lessons, and that is it. So I'm excited to have you in the course. I really hope that you enjoy it. If you like the music in the background, it's my brother-in-law, Tide Rider, and best of luck as you jump into Life Sciences 11. To unlock the entire course, what I want you to do now is to scroll down in the course introduction and go and complete that course intro quiz. It's super, super, super easy. It's all true and false. questions and like multiple choice. It's really easy, and then it'll unlock everything else in the course. And actually, that's how lots of my regular tests are too. When you're doing tests in my course, it's true and false, multiple choice, sometimes like matching. There's some like fill in the blank. There's some long answer questions. But yeah, I really hope that you get to dig into Life Sciences 11, and I will see you at the midpoint meeting. So in this course, when you get to the midpoint in the course, you are going to book a meeting with me, and that's a place that we get to meet face to face. And one of the things that I want to do is I want to make sure that you're getting the grade that you want to get. If you're aiming for an A plus but you haven't been getting an A plus, or if you've been aiming for a B and you're not getting a B, I want to try to help you and give you some pointers for the second half of the course. And then I do a couple questions with you about the course, and I have a critical thinking question. So I try to get you to think about something. There's no real right or wrong answer, but it's fun, and I want to congratulate you on getting you to the halfway point. So after you finished your first couple chapters, we actually get to meet on Zoom, and that'll be fun. And then I'll be cheering you on at the final exam and watching you finish my course. So if you have any questions at all, don't forget that if you come back to the course home, hopefully my face is right there, and you can email me if you need any help. But take care, and I'm excited to be your teacher.